Okay, here we go. So, recap. Chairs in the middle. Shoulders, bring them to your ears, drop them down. Then say rib cage up, okay? Bring your hands up so that the fingertips are under your chin. And you're following the same level from the chin all the way to elbow. As you walk around your chair that you've put in the middle of your station, you don't go fast. That's number one. Just ambulate, okay? And keep saying to yourself, shoulders down, rib cage up. Now, once you've got that, and you're doing this slow walk, because if I go faster with this kind of turning action that I'm encouraging you to do, see how I'm just turning back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? By virtue of this turning, if I have any ice skaters in the audience or dancers, any of my dancers will tell you, if you turn your upper cage or your upper body, it's going to impact the way your feet go. Okay, now I turn around and I'm going around the other way, okay? But every time I turn with my arms like this under my chin, and keep my elbows elevated, I have to say, shoulders down. Shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. Go one more time. Come on around. Don't go fast. Shoulders down, rib cage up. Turn, turn, turn. And you can put your palms out or facing you, whichever way you want to. Okay, now we're going to come down. So we've been doing that, y'all. Everybody's up to speed, right? Now see what I've done? I brought my elbows right in here. So listen, for some of you with shoulder issues, wrist issues, whatever, elbow, shoulder, this might be hard for you to do because you have to bring your elbows up, okay? So do the best you can. Bring your hands in. Try to bring your elbows together. Just try to do that. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to come to the side of my chair, and I'm going to do that little step up. Now, I hope you're really listening. It's going to throw you. Okay, are you listening? Don't think you have to come up all the way here. When you have your hands all the way up here, I'm telling you, it's going to impact your balance. You do not have to put your foot all the way up at your seat chair level. Just touch the bottom of the rung of the chair. Perfectly fine. See, I'm just going to touch here. It's much less likely that I'm going to take a little fall if I get off balance, if I'm just tapping my rung of my chair down low. For that matter, you can just step out. See that? Just step out. So I've given you 3 different modes. Step out while you do this little pulsing. See how I'm pulsing? So my elbows are together. I'm stepping out. I could be stepping on the rung of the chair as I do a pulse up. Pulse up. I keep my shoulders down. Tight tummy, rib cage up. Or I could be touching all the way up. So you get to pick which one you prefer in order to do this move to warm you up. And when you pulse, and see, I'm only pulsing 1 or 2 inches. Actually, you only have to really pulse 1 inch with your hands. See, I'm pulsing up, pulsing up, pulsing up. Is your tummy super tight? I don't care if you're stepping low like this, or if you're stepping high into the chair. Keep your shoulders down and your tummy super tight. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, and take a breath. Bring your hands down and open them back, okay? Open them back, just like that. See that? Now, if I do this And I really try to put the backs of my hands as if they were going to go together. You're going to get a bigger stretch. And if you do it one at a time, see, I have my hand straight here. I go back like that. But when you take your hand back, see, like that? If I were with you right now, for you to get the best benefit from this move, even as you're walking around, I'd put my hands right here, right here, right here. Yes, I caught you. Here we go, see? So, one hand forward, one hand goes back. I'm continuing to walk, not fast, around my chair, okay? And when you're walking around a chair like this, I want you to bring your whole foot up. And some of you may be saying, what is she talking about? Look it. When you walk around and you walk kind of, and you drag your foot like a lot of us do, you're going to catch your toe. So I'm saying bring your knee up. See, I want you to bring your whole foot up as you're pulling this backward. If you've had injury or you have a delicate shoulder, soften your elbow. Just bring it back like that. But bring your whole foot off the ground as you ambulate. See? As you walk. I want to bring my whole foot off the ground by pulling my toe up and lifting my knee. I get a completely different hip and back and gluteal and quadricep action than if I just kind of sashay around, kind of like dragging my feet. Okay? Then put them both together and push them back. Drop your shoulders right now. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Now go straight from that to turning your palms down, hip hinging, rounding the upper back, pushing your butt back, and you come right into like you're hugging yourself right into this move right here, just like this. Just like this. Pull, 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 and then hold down there, and then go like this with your elbows. See how I'm going up? So I'm doing a lot of precursors of what we're going to do with heavy weights here in just one moment. Okay, see how I'm pulling my elbows and I'm pulling my shoulders together, and I'm breath, and I'm going to go breath, I'm going to go breath and breath. Good. Then I'm going to put my hands on my hips. First thing I'm going to do is push my hips forward, release my gluteal. Okay, drop your shoulders, pull your elbows back. Okay, drop that chin in, then put your hands on the outside of your hips and do like a hula hoop. See this? But you're not doing it fast. You're doing this very slowly. So what I tried to do is do all the planes of motion, getting you warmed up today, not just walking front and back. And I tried to really emphasize the shoulder girdle, okay? So as I'm doing this, when I come around and I do this hula hoop, so you push that hip back, then you come into the front, you feel the weight exchanging and shifting in your feet, okay? As you're doing this hula hoop, okay? It's just a hula hoop type thing. Take a big deep breath and then pendulum swing, pendulum swing, pendulum swing, and pendulum swing. Then I'm gonna just stay right here where my chair is. I'm going to step back until I feel a stretch in my calf and then come back. See, we're not holding static holds right now. We are warming up. Drop your shoulders, step back, and go into the heel until you just feel the stretch. So I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay forward, step back. Some of you can go back pretty far. Some of you need to go very little because you have tight calves, you have hamstring issues, and this move done regularly, giving those muscles a chance to gently move and to get warmed up and to get greater flexibility gently, which includes the whole leg all the way down to your big toe. Because see, when I come up like this, see how I'm going into the big toe? Take a breath, drop your shoulders, stay forward with your weight, and then step into that heel. Okay, right at the end of this one, we're going to do the second move that typically is never pointed out to do. We've stepped back, we've rolled into the heel, we're stretching the calf. Now the second part. You ready? Drop your shoulders, push down on the chair. You're stretching your calf. Now you're going to bend the back knee a little, but you're going to keep the heel on the ground, but we're not going to set on that. We're doing this as a way of hitting the stretch, then moving back. It's no more than a bent knee, heel down, and then back. Bent knee, heel down, and then back. Take a breath. Bent knee, heel down, and come back. Okay? Switch. Step back. You can step back really far, or you can step back just a little. It's up to you. You want to step back far enough that in this position right here, as you push your knee forward here, keep your heel down, you want a gentle stretch coming into the calf. Okay? Once you have that, then you're going to bend your knee, then you're going to come back. You're going to bend your knee, drop your shoulders, and then come back. So if you're not keeping your tummy, your belly button pulled in gently, you'll tend to arch your back on a move like this, which I don't want you to arch your back right now. Sometimes we do, but not right now. Okay? See how I'm pulsing? Yeah. Now you're feeling it. This one is especially for the Bonnies in the class who have Achilles issues. All right? This thing right now for you, Bonnie, this is like brushing your teeth. This should be done pretty much every day. And you notice we're warming up. I'm not holding it like normally you would hold a static stretch for up to 30 seconds. I'm going to do that later. Right now, I want to hit the move until I feel the stretch. Let it stretch just for a couple seconds and then come back off. Yeah. Then you step back in. Then you're feeling like, wow, I'm feeling better already, you know? I'm going to turn this so you can see kind of what I'm doing during this session. I'll be turning it a little here and there and everywhere. Okay, so now let's hit the core. So we worked to open up the upper body. We worked to stretch through those legs, okay? Now let's do this core thing. We did this to start with, right? Remember, we did that. Here's the chair. We're going to use it. So I'm going to step back, and I'm going to give my core its first load. So here it is. I'm going to push up, push my butt back until I feel stretching right here. Then I'm going to swing right into that plank. It's a chair plank. You can try to put your heels down, but keep your tummy tight. You're just going to hit this position, and then you're going to push your butt back and come back down. Okay? Do it about 2 or 3 times. Here we go. So at this point, we're not going into a hyperextension. We're keeping into a plank, just like this. And then I'm pushing right back, dropping my chin, coming back, take a breath, holding it right in there into the chair plank. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to sit. Aha, I tricked you. Okay? Now, when we just now did that, you should have felt a gentle stretch coming up through your hamstring, right? Now we're going to finish just the motion of going through and using muscles that we're going to really be using a lot, okay, with heavier work. So for many of you, you've seen this move done in exercise classes. They do it on the floor. They twist their knee and their leg way back here to get a stretch in the in the quads here. And in the process, they hurt their knee. Anybody doing this? I've seen it happen so many times. So what we're going to do is sit on the edge of our chair, okay? And a lot of times, those of you who feel discomfort in your hips and or back, it's a result of, many times, tight muscles that are responding to maybe a little bit of a hip dysfunction or something in your back. So we're going to try to help that. So see, all I have to do is this. See this? And if you have a knee replaced or a hip replaced, I can tell you right now, you ain't going to be doing that kind of pretzel-y looking thing that people do in order to stretch their quads. You see runners do it all the time, and they just overstretch their knee structures really too far. So see here? This is my knee replaced side. So I can tell you that if I want more stretch, I don't need to overstretch my knee in order to get a good warming, loosening of this muscle. All I have to do is slip to the front of the chair, tighten my tummy, drop my shoulders, lean back from the hip. Don't lean back like this. Don't do that. Lean back. Keep your knee pointed down. That means your shoelaces, see, I'm hanging onto the chair over here so I don't fall off, right? Okay, lean back. You will have all the stretch that you can handle right here. So don't let your knee kick out. It should be headed down. Then just pat yourself and go back and hang out there for just a second and then come back. So see, I'm not static holding right now, all right? It's one of those fall mornings. You're starting to little tiny things you do can help facilitate readiness for exercise. So I'm taking some time and doing a little bit, putting some extra moves in there to really address joint health. Okay, so here I'm scooting way over to the side, up to the front, and then what am I going to do? Hang on here, tight tummy, drop my shoulders, bring my knee down. Don't drop your hip, okay? Hang on to your chair so your hip doesn't drop here. See, it's the same level, okay? Go back by pushing yourself back from your hip. Keep the knee headed down, okay? Open back, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Don't drop the knee, don't drop the hip. The knee is down there, but you're open back. You should be feeling a great stretch. Sometimes, y'all, when you're feeling discomfort and you're just feeling like, oh man, I just can't, I just feel tight, this move, the one I'm just doing right now, could help you to open those pathways in through your hips, okay, that go into your lower back. And there's no other way that will open that up. It's kind of the same thing as doing this, only we really addressed these, if that makes sense. Okay. So at this point, y'all should feel a little warm. I'm putting on my gloves. And if you are going to be doing strength work with me, or with anybody, you need to have yourself some gloves. And somebody say, I don't have some biking gloves, something that you can grip with and leave your hands kind of free. So that's what these are, strength training gloves. And I'm going to start with lightweight today, typical lightweight. I am going to use a weighted ball. If you don't have a weighted ball, a bag of beans will do. As a matter of fact, I'll pull them out of my bag and show you. Okay, so here's my chair. All right, so I'm going to come into this, and I'm going to do some of the very same moves that we just did. See how I'm going to come like this and stand back up? So these are a take on some of the very same moves that we just did to warm up. See how I'm pushing down and I'm coming back? So those of you coming on and you have delicate shoulders, you keep your hands low. You really make sure your shoulders are down. You choose a light weight. Now for me, this is a 6, this is a 6. Maybe it's a 2 and a 2 for you, okay? Maybe you just are going to go through the whole thing today with no weight. That's okay. All right? Maybe you've got your lightweight. If you have these, you just take that bar off and then you've got 3 and 3. So on anybody that has a delicate shoulder, tricky joints, I'm taking you through a progression today. I started with the warm-up, a little different, okay? I'm using some specific moves to get your shoulders, your back, functional, all right? So as I'm doing this with light weights, it's not necessarily hard. However, when you put, and so even though these are light, this is 6, this is 6 for me. So what does that mean? When I come into this move right here, and I'm pushing into the heels, I'm dropping my shoulders, keeping my chin tucked. See, as I come up right here, and I do this, wow, that's 12 pounds added to my back work, okay? They should be able to do this. They can do this with no hurting. In fact, helping. If, that's a big if, you persist at thinking, where am I weight shifting? I will tell you, until I'm really focused, I can tell you my go-to is to shift and have more weight on this side of me. And there's many of you that do the same thing and you don't realize you're doing it. And then you wonder, how come you have this ache or pain on the other side? It's because you overworked, okay? So get grounded, get symmetry going, got it? So as you're going into this, push and pull your weight load so that it is equal. One leg to the other leg. Okie dokie. So as I do this repeatedly, you see, I have my hands at a 45-degree angle when I come up. Do you see that? See, I'm coming down, I'm coming in. Then as I come up, I'm shifting to my heels, both my heels, keeping my elbows down. And then when I come in here, it's at a 45-degree angle. This is important for our next move, okay? Push your butt back. I'm going to go step by step because some of you have gotten sloppy with this, okay? Why do I know that? Because I'm looking at a little green slug on my bookcase here, and that's just what we do. But see, we love slugs in this class. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, push your butt back, equalize. If you're pushing more on one leg than the other, straighten it up. See? Come down, reach around like this, and then come right in here at the front of your hips. See that? You're in a perfect position for the next move, but I'm not ready to do it yet. Okay, take a breath. Come right in. Okay, now as I do this, see, I'm rounding. I'm pushing my butt back. I come back in. Keep my shoulders down. These go right at where my hip bends. See, as I come down, I'm coming in here. I'm going into my heels, and then I come right into here. Okay? One more time. Here we go. Push. Equal. Everything's equal. And we come right here. Okay? My knees are still soft. I'm in the right position to go like this. See this? And then I come right down. I'm keeping those hands open, but not all the way, not in a 180 line degree. No, I'm at about a 45. degree right here. And I go like that. See that? Take a breath. Now, as you're doing this with a light weight, see, it's lightweight, I'm simply going to shift and tap back. That's all I'm going to do. So when you do this little tap back, so see, I'm going to shift. I'm going to curl to a 45 degree. My elbows are down. I'm going to tap. I'm going to come back. Okay? That's kind of an important move. All right? Because you're shifting. Okay? And when you come back into this move, be careful where you're putting your elbows. They need to stay pretty tight into you. See, I'm just tapping back. I'm shifting. I don't want to overlean. I'm shifting. Breath, just shift. Breath, and if I really concentrate to not overlean on my hip replace side, that's a lot of concentration. And some of you need to sit back a little more before you take that toe and tap it, okay? Because if you have a hip replaced, by virtue of that, you're going to be weaker in a lot of different moves, okay? So we have to really work at getting stronger in those weak structures. So see, I keep my elbows down and I just do this little curl. Some of you say, well, why is she doing that with a light weight? Maybe we should be doing heavier weight. No. Because we're doing a lot of them. Like up to, I hope I'm around 20. I'm trying to get you to 2 sets of 10 at least. I would prefer three sets of 10. But beggars can't be choosers, right? You're here this morning, so you're like, what do you want, Jamie? What do you want? We're here. It's only because it hurts me more than you to make you do it right, see? Take a breath. So I can tell you that this lateral shifting that I'm doing, this is a lateral shift. See that? Man, when I go into this lateral shift, I have to really concentrate before I take that foot off the ground. This one, not so much, even though this is my knee replace side, okay? It takes a lot of concentration, and your shoulders are benefiting from this 3 sets of 10. I'm trying to get you to 30. I try not to say that. I try not to say that number because I don't want you to give up on me. But I am trying to get you to do 3 sets of just 10. How's that? It's all semantical. Take a breath. Take a breath. Keep your elbows down. Keep your elbows down. Elbows down. Keep your shoulder blades together. Yeah, your shoulder down and your shoulder blades together. This is a very important move with light weights. Now I'm going to bring these right to here. Take a big deep breath and bring it back down. So some of you may have noticed now, because I'm going to, in fact, do a little crossbody lift with my knee. But my elbows are tight in. These are light weights that I chose, okay? Especially if you have shoulder, wrist, whatever issues. Drop your shoulders. We're going to come up right here. So my solar plexus are really working. I'm going to shift. And now instead of taking my leg back, I'm coming forward, okay? So you're going to shift, and you're going to come up, and you're not going to do this fast, y'all. Slow it down. Drop your shoulders. Shift. Don't overlean. Bring that leg up, and try to get it as high as you can. You don't have to touch the weight with your knee. Drop your shoulders, shift. Now when I come up, I have to really hold my ground on that one, because what do I want to do? I want to overlean, just like many of you do it, okay? And you don't realize it. So this is hard work, because this is putting combinations of moves. I'm managing 12 pounds that I'm holding out here, okay? If you have any kind of shoulder, arm, I don't know, weakness or injury, you know, if you need to do this with no weight, then you drop the weight. When you're like, oh, my form is not good, the weight's too heavy, put the weight down and finish the move. That's okay. Take a breath, try to shift, try to stay solid. Okay, shift, stay solid. See, this one's hard for me. This one's hard for me. I got to really hang on because you know what? You know what I want to do? I want to go like this and put my leg down real quick. Don't do it. All right? Take a breath. We still have light weights. Now I'm going to come. I'm going to stand right in front of my little chair. I'm going to act like I'm going to sit down, but I'm not going to. Okay? Stay with me. These are light weights. All right? If your hands are tired, just let the weights go to the fingertips and then pull it back in a couple times. That'll be fine. We will put them down in just a minute before we change the weights. Now, I'm right in front of my chair. My feet are a little wider than shoulder, about shoulder. I'm going to push back on my butt. These are going to be right here, and these are light, and it's going to be my shoulder blades are acting like a pull-in. So keep your chin tucked, keep your butt down. Try your best not to bend too much at the elbow. This is lifting from the back part of your deltoid or shoulder. Pull your shoulder blades in while you do this lift. Drop your butt because you're going to keep wanting to come up. Keep your elbows pretty straight. Just 3 more. You can do this. Heels, heels, heels. 1 more. And come back. Oh! I know you loved it. Here we go. Step across and step back. See, I'm staying right in front of my chair. I'm going to step across. I'm going to step back. Take a breath. Step across. Step back. Step across. Step back. Okay? Now we're going to sit and do the very same motion. Okay? That way, instead of concentrating on your body position and keeping your butt down, now we're going to do the second set for this part of you right back here. Okay? And you can focus on that entirely. So drop your shoulders, lean in, just like if you were standing there. So I'm going to come right into here. My arms with my light weights are at my side. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to take it back. And how am I going to take it back? Through my shoulders, okay? Don't make this all about doing stuff at your elbow. It's not. You're pretty set with a pretty straight arm, just a soft elbow, okay? So keep your chin tucked. Drop your shoulders and squeeze the shoulder blades. Now you're working where I want you to work, okay? So your elbows are just a little bit soft. So drop your shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades, and just press back there and then bring it back down, okay? So this isn't about bending at the elbow right now. Okay, keep your chin tucked. Drop your shoulders. Now squeeze your shoulder blades with your arms straight. And it's going to bring them right in. Take a breath. Bring it all the way back down. Stay with me, y'all. So when you're in this position, you definitely want to be extended in the back. Okay? So neutral spine, nice hip hinge, and come back and come back. Drop your shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades together and then come back, okay? Drop your shoulders, pull your shoulder blades together. Now hold them back there. Now release and pull, release and pull, release and pull the shoulder blades together with a straight arm. Breath, 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 and breath. Good. Put those weights on your right above your knee, right on your thigh, right there. Okay. Take a big breath. How you feeling? So these right back here should just be going zing, zing, zing. Yes, that's the muscle I want you to get. That's very important muscle for a lot of us with shoulder issues, and we don't want to be weak in the shoulders, right? So I've asked people, sometimes when I see somebody, I'll grab them and say, hi, how you doing? And I'll grab this right here because I want to see what their muscle tone is there. Really, to tell you the truth, your upper body work, and it is so important to your stability and in moving around and doing and enjoying your life. So I'm really using that. I use it as a prep, a warm up. Now we're going on into our strength work. We're using light weights, okay? But I really want you to be careful and only do moves that you're able to do, okay? So some of you, might be in therapy doing shoulder issues. So see what I'm doing right here? Yeah. So you're going to see me move back, okay? So how am I moving back? I'm moving back from my hip. I'm opening until I feel this kick. Yeah. Once I'm back there, I do a little thing like I'm going to cross my leg, but then I don't. So that's going to be kind of what we're going to be working on right here. But now what we're going to do upper body, especially keeping in mind, I have a lot of people with shoulder issues. But here's the deal. You still got to live, right? You got to try to get those shoulders functional, right? And stronger. See how I'm coming back and doing that? And then I just go like this. See, I'm just hanging out here. And then if you can, when you come back up, you just push this right here to just above your ears. Then you come back down. Okay, open. Act like you're going to cross your legs, but you don't. Bring it right here. Bring it down. These are light weights. Open. Act like you're going to cross your leg, but you don't. Here we go, right here. Breath. Open. Breath. Bring it right here. Bring it down. Cross your leg or act like you're going to, and then you don't. And see, every time you do this, you keep saying rib cage up. That's going to keep you from doing a wrong move in your back. Okay, take a breath. Ooh, I didn't go up that time. That's okay. Right there. And come back. Here we go. Open. Bring it up. We only have 3 more. I know, Kathy's counting. Breath. Open. Here we go. Breath. Open. One more. Breath. And open. And bring them down. You didn't know that could be so hard, did you? Okay, I'm going to put my weights right there beside me. Do a big hug. Shake out those hands a little bit. Stay right there. Give yourself a nice hug. Shake out the hands. Yes. I want to make sure that I have my volume up. Yes, I do. So that's a good thing. Okay. Okay. Everybody's doing good, 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 good. Okay. All right. Did you give yourself a hug? See, I want to be registered as saying I gave you a rest just now. Okay. So before we leave this one and pick up some heavier weights, we're going to do some body loads. All right. First of all, we're going to bring one leg in like this. And then we're going to bring the other leg in just like this. Now, why would I do something like that? Because it adds to your mobility, your functioning, okay? So your ability to come in, to fold, to open out. And so you can do all of this using a chair, or you can stand and do it, Yeah, you could do this whole thing standing and it would be a much harder workout. That'd be fine too. So I'm going to go like this. See that? So do you know, by just doing this move and me watching you, I can tell whether or not we've got some movement issues with our core and back or not. Because what does people generally do when they go to put their knee up around their shoulder? What do we do? Yeah, I can hear you. We round our backs. Yes, we do. We go like this. No. We want to be strong enough. We want to move in such a way that we facilitate this kind of mobility because it makes us more functional. See that? Yeah. So when I bring my knee up, I'm going to do it one more time. Right now, I would run my hand right down your back and see if, in fact, you had flexed it. We want to keep it extended. That's why I open right here. I bring it up like the knee to the shoulder. I do a little press. See, I didn't say kick. I said a press, right? Last one on this side. Here we go. Till I hit that stretch, and then I'm back in and I'm good to go, okay? So now I'm going to reach down and get my light weights. These are light weights, all right? And before I do that, I'm going to take my hand to here and come back down, okay? Then I'm going to take my hand from here and back down. I'm going to do it one at a time, and I'm going to do it with a light weight. So the backs of my hands is going to come up as I put the back of my hand like on my forehead and then come back down. So this is a very careful move. And it's a move that some of you need to do with no weight. Okay, so I hope you're hearing me. All right, see how I come like this and I come back down. Okay, then I'm going to keep my shoulders down, say rib cage up, and I'm going to just rotate until I can bring this weight with my hand, and I just put the back of my hand on my forehead. Okay, now I'm using, again, 6 pounds and 6 pounds. Some of you should be doing the 3 and the 3, or 2, or none. It's up to you and what's going on with you and your shoulder. But this move is a very functional move. You notice I'm not going up over my head. I just want to give my joint in my shoulder the integrity that it needs to move functionally. So this is a great move to check yourself out with to see how things are floating, okay? So arm work, shoulder work is much more than just doing these. Okay, these are great. They're important. We do them. But man, we did our 45-degree. We did a lot of these, right? And then we went through a whole range of motion until I finished with this one with light weight. See that? See that? Yeah, if you have any sticking points in your shoulder as you're doing these moves, take note of it. What do we need to be careful with? Where is your problem with moving in all these kinds of ways? Okay, so now I'm going to come up. I'm going to come over here. Okay, I'm gonna go way up in my weight right now. So I went from very light to now I'm in the heavy range for me. So the heavy range for me is going to be 15 and 18. Okie dokie. So it's going to be 15 and 18. I'm fully warmed up. I've worked all through all kinds of shoulder motions. So now I'm going to put these 15-pounders right here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to my toes. I'm going to do some lifts into my toe box. And as I do that, I'm going to go up and I'm going to bring my shoulders to my ears. And then I'm going to go down into the heels. And I'm going to actually pull my toe one at a time. Don't do them both. One at a time. I'm going to pull my toe back like it's trying to go back onto my shin. See how that toe's going? So you see, I just added 30 pounds to the load that I'm asking my feet to work against. So when I shift and I pull my toe back, I'm putting my weight plus I just picked up 30 pounds, okay? That's pretty significant, all right? Now, once I've done that, I'm gonna go to my toe box again. I'm gonna just bring my heels off the ground, managing this weight, right? And see, I'm not gripping them. So with this much weight, yeah, you get tired really quick in your hands, and some of you have, you know, all of us have some kind of degree of some kind of impairment of motion. You might have some arthritis. That's hard to hang on to. So see, I'm letting it hang from my fingertips right now. That's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go to my toe, and I'm just picking my heels up off the ground. But when you do this with added weight, beware. Some of you, the minute you went to your toe box, you don't realize you did it. But I know you did, okay? You pulled your knees out. You rotated to the outside of your foot. You did not come clean through the front of the foot. You didn't, all right? So, see, I know these things. I just do. I feel it. Anyway, you're going to go, if you do that, see, if you come in correctly like I want you to, and you don't do that funny thing with your knee turnout, some of you are going to go a little far. You're going to overbalance where you have to kind of do a little step. That's okay. That's part of this move. Because why? That is okay, because that is forcing you to work supremely your proprioceptive muscle response to an overbalance. See? And I have 30 pounds hanging off of me, all right, in these hands. And so I have to get that balance back while I'm managing this, okay? So now stay into the front toe box right there. Now bring your shoulders up and then drop them, okay? Now move them forward. Now come back to neutral. Now go back. Now come to neutral. Bring them all the way up to the ears. Okay, now move forward. And we've worked those very muscles with lighter weight just a while ago. Now come to your ears. Now go back. Okay, let this weight hang off of your fingertips. Are you staying in your toes? See, you might not see what I'm doing. My knees are bent, a little bent, and I'm constantly pressing into my toes. I can tell you, my calves are screaming right now. Okay, come back, go up to the ears. Now go open. Now come neutral, come up. Now go forward. Now come back. Stay in your toe box. Stay in your toes. I know. They should be screaming if you're staying in there. Your knees are soft. Ears forward. Ears back. Okay, go back down, put them down on the floor, right there in front of you. Open your hands, step back, stretch that calf, step back, stretch that calf. Take a big deep breath. Now, listen, what I just worked you through, and without me even being there to know if you actually did it, but I told you how it was supposed to be feeling in your calves, okay? Listen, those of you who are big-time walkers, and I know I got Nancy out there, and I've got Marilyn, and I don't know how many others are walking, but what I just did with heavy weights, and if you felt that in your calves, that is one of the best things you can do to actually walk better, because you're helping to stimulate that muscle, okay? That muscle is what's gonna get you to walk better. And you can't do that by walking and walking and walking and walking. You know why? Because you didn't overload. So I just made you do the first principle of weight training, which is called overload. And by putting you in that position, not only did you strengthen your whole body structure, but you pushed your calves. All right. Now I'm going to come down. I'm going to grab those weights, pick them back up. Okie dokie. Take a big deep breath. Step back, step back, step back, step back, step back. I'm going to just act like I'm going to walk. See that? That's all I did. Now I'm on the back foot and the front foot. I lifted my heel in the back. Now I'm going to continue that loading as I come up. So I'm doing one-legged squats, basically. It's a split stance, and I go down as far as I feel I can, and I hang on to these weights. Now, there are those of you out there that might want to put your weights across your shoulders. That would be fine. However, these are heavy, okay? And as you go down, if you are leaning slightly too much in through your basic core position, then you put strain on the back extensors while we're doing this, especially if you had your weights on your shoulders. Now, that's okay. You can do that. I would rather you do it with somebody watching you. Because, see, if nobody's watching you, you and I both know we tend to want to cheat, don't we? Well, this kind of cheating can get you in trouble with your back, your shoulders. Okay, now I'm going to add, okay? I'm coming down to, I think, 8, 9, 10. So when you come on into 8, 9, 10 repetitions, bring those shoulders up as you come up, drop straight down, pull, drop straight down with the knee. That's what I'm talking about. You're coming straight down. And then you bring that leg forward, okay? I'm going to put them on the chair, take a little rest. This was the leg that I had back. I'm going to switch here in just a minute. So open your hands, give a big hug, okay? And bring those shoulders forward. Then do it again. Open, bring it back, big. You're rounding your shoulders, not your lower back, okay? Not your mid back, not your lower back, but your upper shoulders, upper back area. Okay, take a breath. Now I'm going to take these weights. I'm going to put my other leg back, okay? And so you may say, well, how did I get in that position? You just take a walk, all right? So you just walk out with the other leg that was behind before. Okay, so this is a split stance. That means my front foot is solid, but, this is a big but, do not, as you're coming down, jaunt your knee out over your toe. That would be a mistake, okay? Do not put your toe out in this position on the back. You're going to be on your toe, but you want to come straight on down right there and then come up. And I want you to notice something. I'm not going down very far, okay? This is the huge benefit of being a person leading this type of class who actually has multiple joints replaced. See, I'm desperate to stay strong, but I had to change up a lot of stuff of how I would typically do and how somebody would typically lead a type of a lunge, kind of a squatting. So this is a single leg squat, basically. Okay, now when I have done 6 to 8 of these, that's when I'm going to go ahead and pull those shoulders. I'm going to pull them up and then drop down. But I'm going to stay back Keep your knee back in the front. Make sure your back knee is going straight down. Breath, drop. Here we go, pull. Big breath. Here we go, pull. Big breath. Breath. Here we go, pull. Breath. Just one more. I meant this one. And come down. Okay, step up. Now hang on to those weights. I know they're getting heavy. Watch where you're going. But I'm gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk around my little chair station. See this? And I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna walk the other way. And I'm hanging on to 30 pounds. And this is where if you wanted to, you could put them up. It's not necessary. Then I'm going to put them down in my rack. Down in my rack. And here's a little tip. When you go to put your weights away, you want to make sure that you dial your little set to the max. So you want to dial it to 18. Why? Because that keeps little kids or anybody that's, you know, thinking they want to come over and just grab them and kind of fool around with them. It keeps them from doing that. Okay, take a breath, go wide, just like this. See this? Tight tummy. See, I'm keeping my toe forward and I'm lifting, leading with an ankle heel. See that? It's just a tiny little bit of a lift. Tiny little bit of a lift. Keep your toe tucked in to the midline. It's right in here. Whoa! And right here. Take a breath, shoulders down, tight tummy. Don't turn your toe. Don't turn your toe. Keep your toes almost like turned in. Because I'm trying desperately to get this right here stronger on you. So you gotta get to where you can do this toe in, ankle, heel, lead. Bring it in. It should be just screaming at you right now, right here. Then you're gonna go turn, step, turn, step. Just do it a couple times. Just step, just like that. The knees are soft. Tight tummy. Drop your shoulders. Keep your chin tucked. You know, all that kind of stuff. See, I'm saying this over and over and over so that when you're doing whatever you're doing in the day, see, this voice is coming into your head. Shoulders down, chin tucked. Keep your belly button in. That's why I keep doing it, because it's a part of retraining. Yes, it's a part of retraining. That's just the way it is, y'all. That is the way it is. Okay, take a big deep breath. Shake out, shake out, shake out. Be a big hug. Drop your shoulders forward. Keep your chin tucked. Hold it there for just a little bit. Tight tummy. Pull your shoulders forward. And release. And that should feel really good.